Hey guys, Books Nelson here, back with another video, and today we'll be breaking down the unfazed set for today's Friday drop. We will also be doing the reward cards in a separate video. There are a lot of reward cards. That video looks like it might be longer than this one. So let's get right into the content. Well, first and foremost, actually, before we get to the content, this is the official first video after reaching 1,000 subs. Cannot thank you all enough for the incredible support. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. But like I said, we're going to keep elevating the conversation on this channel and keeping the My Team community as informed and grow together and understand this game as much as possible, so that when we talk to the devs and ask them to make improvements, we are asking for the best things possible for the game. All right, moving forward. So let's see here. So this collection, so let's start with this GOAT Larry Bird. Actually, you know what? We're going to skip all of the Larry Birds until later. We'll do the Larry Birds in their own separate video moving forward. So first things first, let's look at Emmanuel Quickly. So Emmanuel Quickly actually has shrunk an inch from previous years to 6'2". He has been listed as 6'3" before. I don't know if his other cards are 6'3" actually. Actually a little curious about that. Nope, he's been 6'2" all year. Small card, skinny card, 6'7" wingspan, which is good. But listen, I'm not going to waste too much time on Quickly, because Quickly's jump shot, his jump shot on Very Quick, it's just a jump scare. You know, it's just a jump scare. I will say, he's got some great animations here. He's got Curry behind the back. Pro 2 leaner actually does give him a lot more usability. Right, that Pro 2 leaner, Pro 2 hop jumper is really bad. D-Rose signature size up is very good. Kind of slept on size up. It has great internal combos in that size up. So offensively, I think the card might be all right, so especially with that Pro 2 leaner. But the bottom line is Quickly is small. He's got a questionable jumper, and you know, they did give him 90 driving dunk, which is interesting. But yeah, I just don't think this card is super good, and we're not going to spend too much time on this Quickly, because we got 400 million point guards last season, and even if you missed out on a whole bunch of them, there are even point guards in the player market like Livingston and stuff like that that are really good. Donovan Mitchell is better than this Quickly, so we're going to keep it moving. So the first card that maybe will have some use. First things first, let's look at his jumper. Default swing base with Kendrick Nunn upper. This might not be a terrible jumper on Very Quick, to be honest with you. Pro 2 leaner is actually very good. D-Rose size up, Michael Jordan dribble style. Okay, so we're talking about something right here. Hold on now. Pro escape, which pro escape does he have? The same one the new Jokic has. Is this Jimmy's escape? If this is Jimmy's escape, that's also massive news for this character. Jimmy's escape is the probably third or fourth best escape in the game. I was probably maybe like fourth or fifth, but it is very popular in my career, because if you have an 85 ball handle or below, you can still get it. And yeah, but it does all the things the other escapes do. The main thing about Jimmy Butler escape is that there is an angle of it that you have to be very precise about not hitting. If you hit that angle, you get a very bad dribble. So it requires a little more skill. But once you do understand that skill, it's a very good escape. Moving step back, Jimmy Butler's not very good. Crossover LeBron James is fine. Job behind the back, I think that's pretty bad actually. Yeah, that's not a good behind the back. So yeah, he's got a good size up, good dribble style, which is basically enough to get going. Jordan Poole combo moves pretty solid. Pro 2 leaner. This I'm gonna have an open mind about this card and hope that he's pretty good. Let's look at the rest of his badges and tendencies. So it is very early here, so we are not on the new badges are not in yet. So we don't know if he has a movable forcer. Hopefully by the end of the video, this will be updated. We'll be able to talk about it. 83 strength, actually low-key kind of a brutal stat for him, because this is lower than the pace of most of the cards right now. And strength is just such an important stat attribute. Such an important attribute for defense. And I don't know, it's not that he can't play because of that, but what happens is if you have a card like this that has that 83 strength, now, and he 85 driving dunk is good enough, but now his shot has to be really good. I don't think I've shot with a Wally Zerbiak card all year. I've heard some things about the jumper not being good. Let's see if nope, they don't. The comments aren't too excited about him, but I tell you what, open mind. We'll see what this card looks like. See if he's worthy of a breakdown, because I will say, if you're no money spent just coming back to the game and you need a shooting guard, there are not that many options out there beyond Chris Middleton, Kyle Korver, and Mike Miller that you can just go and get. So Wally, for some people might actually fit a niche. And the same thing is true for small forwards. There are not that many small forwards on the marketplace. Speaking of, Cam Whitmore, 6'7", 6'8" wingspan, not a great wingspan. 235 though. I believe Cam has a slightly larger player model, which we love. So this is what I'm talking about. 95 strength. That's what 95 strength, 95 speed. This makes this card interesting. And I will be refreshing these until this little green light comes on and we can see whether or not he has a movable. 90 driving dunk, love that. The shooting is fine. It doesn't look like he needs much of anything going with this card. He looks really good as far as that goes. So let's see. Ooh, Kyrie dribble style. Jaw size up is okay, actually. Jaw size up's okay. Kemba escape. Whoa. Okay, hold on now. Hold on. I'm not familiar with his jumper. Normal leaner, normal 2 hop jumper. Excellent hop jumper. Luka Hezi, a little annoying, but you can speed boost out of it if you know how. And if you don't know how, stay tuned to this channel because I will likely wind up teaching you how when we do this card breakdown. But yeah, this card actually looks honestly kind of excellent. Kobe Bryant breakdown moves aren't very good. Pro combo moves, what did he have? Murray, maybe? Oh, and Westbrook. Oh man, I was just using that Westbrook card. What are those breakdown moves? I don't know those combo moves. I don't know that off the top of my head, but I'll tell you what. With Kemba escape, Ja, and Kyrie, he's kind of already good to go. What's his pro behind the back? So the Larry Goat cards all have this. Oh, and KD has this. So this is probably... Is this the Jamal Murray? I don't know if this is the Jamal Murray, but this is something very, very good. I don't know which one this is, but I expect this to be a really good behind the back. But we'll know for sure later on. But I have gone from very lukewarm on young Mr. Cam Whitmore to quite excited about this card, to be honest with you. Curry step back is outstanding. Yeah, honestly, this card looks really, really good. Some people are going to complain about this Luka moving Hezi, but we're going to get you guys same side bursting with this card. I can almost guarantee that. But we'll see for sure in the breakdown. But look for a breakdown on this card. Almost definitely. Almost definitely. Robert Williams. Okay, so here's one we were talking about. So, if you guys don't know, the 6'9" Bam Adebayo is actually really, really, really good. So if you have access to that card, if you got that card, it's pretty easy to get heat points in the paint. You can do that in just a couple of games of really any game mode of a very, very easy and triple threat. And this card is most likely not going to be nearly as good as that card. 73 point. I don't know who's playing a 6'9", 73-point power forward. This definitely feels like a filler card. Michael Jordan dribble style, jaw size up. A lot of that's weird. These card designs very overlapping, and I don't know why they're overlapping some of these dribbles. But anyway, he's got the Harden behind the back. Well, I don't know what you're using it for because he can't shoot. So with a 73 ball, if you're Artis Gilmore, right, or I always want to say Craig Elo when I'm thinking of the other big center that we just got with the 66-3 ball. If you're catching and shooting in the corner, 73 ball's absolutely fine, right? If you are trying to dribble and then shoot, it's a big struggle. And so that's just not good enough. Normal leaner, pro 2 hop jumper, those are both terrible. No, normal leaner is not terrible. Normal leaner is fine. It's not good and doesn't open up your gameplay. It's one of those things where it's good enough on a card that's otherwise great to not be a weakness. But on a card like this that already has big weaknesses, not strong. Let's look at the defense though. 98 strength, 95 speed. That's all great. Yeah, I mean he's got a lot of competition with Bill Russell, I cannot sing the praises of Bill Russell enough. Bam Adebayo is also pretty good. They just gave out that Jokic for free. I still think that Jokic card is honestly kind of underrated. Has been underrated by the community the entire time. Made a couple of videos with that card. I think he's excellent. But actually, to just look at Robert Williams on his own, I haven't shot with the jumper. I've heard it's terrible. But I will say that it is going to be on very quick now. We'll see how that improves the shot. This is a serviceable card, though. He will defend for you. He will shoot shots from the corner for you. You're going to have to throw a bunch of badges on him to get that shooting to feel a lot better. But in and of his own, I don't think this card will be unusable. I just don't think he'll be good either. That's the first Larry Bird. Is it all Larry? No, okay. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We get to the dark matters here. Actually, and we're not going to do Kareem first. Paul Pierce. We'll start with Paul Pierce. So this card, super important. So he has his own jumper. It's on very quick. So as we say on this channel, some bases take speed increases better than other bases, right? Every base doesn't get a lot faster with a speed increase. Some bases do. If his base gets a lot better with a speed increase, that is a massive change for this card. And we won't know that until we get our hands on a Paul Pierce, if we do. I mean, he's a dark matter, so who knows where he shows up. However, he also has Trey Leaner, which is excellent, and normal 2-hop jumper, which is excellent. So even with his base as a standstill shooter, I don't know what he's going to be talking about, but shooting on the move, this card will be usable. He's at a pretty competitive position at a 6'7" 2-guard. Quite frankly, I think there's pretty much no way he's as good as Ron Artest and Dr. J, but those are gambling cards. So the real question is, how is he compared to Kyle Korver, Chris Middleton, Mike Miller? Those are the cards, Dominique Wilkins, those are the cards you can actually get at this position. And how good is he compared to those cards? Because if you didn't get very lucky and get Ron, Dr. J, maybe Ricky Davis, your 2-guard, Glenn Rice, obviously, if you didn't grind for Glenn Rice, your 2-guard position might still be kind of needy. And if you're in that boat, let's look what he's talking about for the SIGs. So Kobe Escape is good enough. D-Rose size up. Again, we talked about very great. Kyrie dribble style, best in the game. So he's going to be able to burst any direction he wants to go. D-Book moving cross, I got to take a look at that. But the John Wall step back, absolutely massive having that John Wall step back. Pro behind the back. So he's got the same one the other ones have. We have to find out what this is. But again, looking at the cards that are here, I believe this is a good behind the back. Just don't know which one it is when it says pro right here, but it might be. I don't know if it's Jamal Murray because I don't see Jamal Murray's name up here. And I don't remember. And yeah, the Jokic has, the Tim Thomas has this too. Yeah, so this is a great behind the back. I don't know if it's Jokic. I mean, I don't know if it's Murray or it's not Harden, but it's a good one. It's a good one. So yeah, this card, honestly, except for his jumper, he looks pretty good. Let's look at the stats and badges real quick before we move on. 95 strength, that's what we're talking about. 94 speed, fantastic. Dunk stats, looking awesome. Ball handling, pass accuracy, outstanding. Honestly, this card is what's the jumper like? If the jumper is good on this card's excellent. Can you do a behind the back into a 3-pointer? That determines if the card can play at the higher levels. Does his card bait you a bit on the catch and shoot? That determines if he'll play for a lot of other people not playing at like the most sweaty meta style. But even if you're not playing, even if you're playing in that not sweaty meta style, if you're just like online having fun, I think this card even more so could help you out a lot more than some people might give it credit for, because he does have very good SIGs, very good stats and badges. And even with the shooting, even if on the catch and shoot he's not bad, as a primary ball handler, getting to that Trey Leaner and these hop jumpers will open up his game somewhat. Chris Paul, troll card, right? 6-foot point guard. Just, again, we got so many point guards last season. There are very, very few people who are going to be in line for this Chris Paul. In fact, I'll say there's no one who should be in line for this Chris Paul, because the Derek White is out there. Derek White is fantastic at 6'4", excellent defensive stats. But let's look at what Chris Paul's talking about. So he's basically almost in that same area as the recently released Westbrook, where he's 100 overall. When you look at the shooting stats, you look at defensive stats, these are 100 overall, basically defensive shooting, physicals, and playmaking. The only place he's not a 100 overall is in the finishing, right? So he's 100 overall with Galaxy Opal finishing. He's 6 feet tall, which is not great. Animation wise, his own shot on very quick. I've used Chris Paul cards this year. I don't remember the jump shot being prohibitively bad, and it wasn't on very quick. So I imagine on very quick, it's fine. Pro 2 leaner, excellent Chris Paul hop jumper. And I know some people like, why are you talking about the 6-foot point guard? I just want to look at the card, see what they did. Chris Paul is going to be some people's favorite player. And, so let's just look at the card on his own merit. Kyrie Irving dribble style, his own size up, Trey escape. The card should move very, very well. His step back is actually elite. This is one of those things where, because the My Career community can just get John Wall, they don't have to look at any other step backs. But as the My Team community, we can look at the second, third, fourth, fifth best option in those categories and really assess them, because we have to. And looking at it, this is probably the second best moving step back in the game, in my opinion. Probably even ahead of the Curry, which is pretty good. A really good snatch off the Curry. This is a great moving step back. But again, at 6 feet tall, with so many other great free point guards that were released last season, I don't know. And some that are still available in the rewards, right? I don't know how this Chris Paul plays for anybody. All right, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Before we get into this card, we're going to compare him to the 100 overall and see what the differences are. So, slightly better physicals. The finishing is pretty much exactly the same. The defense is almost exactly the same. Pass perception is ever so slightly higher. Playmaking, passing vision, this is a fake stat, really. Ball handle, he's a little easier to pluck. And let's see what they did with the SIGs. So SIGs wise, he looks identical. So this is the 100 overall Kareem card. This is very similar to the Michael Jordan. The dark matter they released was basically the 100 overall released into the wild. That's what's going on here. See, he's got the fro here. Maybe the player models will be different. But that having been said, so this is 100 overall Kareem. And now he's in. Well, the other thing is the other one can play. Can he play small forward? I don't think he can, actually. Let me look at that real quick. Nah, he can't play small forward. So, yeah, so this is 100 overall Kareem. And that's pretty much that. He's going to be what 100 overall Kareem is. Kareem has been a great center all year, right? Since he came out. I don't expect any different. The badge-wise, he's probably got some more needs than the 100 overall, I would imagine. But stats-wise, absolutely immaculate. Probably going to be one of the very, very best centers in the game, as is the 100 overall. And if you don't have a good center, good luck. Unfortunately, there are 500 Larry Birds cock-blocking you from this Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So I hope that you have some luck in getting him. But yeah, I expect this card to be absolutely excellent. And here we are. The Immovable Enforcer is up. And we can see here he has Hall of Fame Immovable Enforcer. And before we move forward, I do want to just quickly check in on these other cards and see what the Immovable Enforcer is looking like. Did Time Lord not get his updated yet? Okay, we're gonna have to come back a little later. It is important to know for Mr. Cam Whitmore as well. So we will be coming back later. Looks like they're still updating that on the database. But yeah, this Kareem Abdul-Jabbar card is probably the best dark matter and maybe even the best card released this week. So, there you go. You're a Kareem fan, which I am. He's outstanding. And you're looking basically to avoid all of these other dark matters and get Kareem most likely, unless you're already good at the center spot and you don't want Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on your team. And if that's the case, I'm real curious why you're pulling packs this week. But Scotty Barnes. Okay, so 6'8" at the 2-3 at the 3-4 position. So obviously this is a one position card and a triple threat card. I'm gonna go straight to his animations here. Again, Ja dribble style. This is so weird. It's like they have a themed dribble style this week. Like everybody's getting Ja and whatever the other one was. But Ja and Kyrie, which is cool. Pro escape. Which escape is this? Jimmy escape. Nice. If that's Jimmy's signature, then cool. Yeah, Scottie Pippen I think has a good one too. So yeah, should be good on that. Behind the back, what have you got? The same one. These cards have so many of the same SIGs. It looks like normal leaner, normal hop jumper is pretty good. Great, in fact. Moving spin pro, Luka Hezi. So yeah, this card actually looks solid. Let's see with the so it's his jumper. I don't love his jumper. I remember his jumper from the duo way back when. I never used the pink diamond, but I did use the amethyst that duoed with that Siakam. And I did not love his jumper back then, but sometimes once these jumpers get on very quick and get much better ratings, they feel a lot better. I feel like Kirilenko is in that category, where the amethyst Kirilenko was a little annoying to shoot with. I could do it, but it was a little annoying. But the dark matter Kirilenko is extremely easy to shoot with, right? So the main thing is, can you create with this jumper. I'm sure with the stats, you'll be able to hit with the jumper because it wasn't so bad that you couldn't hit with it. But can you create with this jumper? He's got Jimmy Butler moving step back, which hurts the card a lot. This already takes him out of, I think, being possibly elite in this category. The only thing I would say is, and we can't leave this out, he has a 7'2" wingspan, right? So defensively, this card has a lot of potential. So let's look what the stats and badges say about that defensive potential. Give it a refresh. Nope, his badges aren't up yet, but his next gen badges aren't up yet. But 95 speed, 92 strength. We'd love to see it. Love to see it. Excellent playmaking as well. And defensively, steal, block, both pretty much 99 because you can put them to 99 with a shoe. So yeah, as a defender, this card looks outrageous. As a finisher, 95 driving dunk, 90 standing. At his size with that wingspan, I expect him to standing dunk basically every single thing he possibly can. And he's got great shooting as well. So I do think if you didn't get Luol Deng and some of these elite small forwards, this guy's probably going to help a lot of teams out there because the small forwards, again, have been luck of the draw. And I don't know if there's been an attainable. I guess Amari Stoudemire is pretty good, but he might be, one of the better small forwards that you can possibly get. Obviously not super attainable because he is a dark matter. We do still have to see what the pack odds are because there are a lot less cards now. So we have to see if the pack odds have improved with the season now that dark matters are a tier back with the GOAT cards being included in everything. All right, 100 overall James Harden. We'll see if they raise the pack odds on these because now with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Michael Jordan both getting dark matter duplicates of their 100 overall, you can maybe even include Larry Bird into this with his 100 overall also having a bunch of duplicates in the same collection. The value of 100 overalls is going down. So maybe these odds come up. And for that reason, we will look at the card a little bit. So obviously he's 100 overall. So stats and badge wise, mostly everything's at a 99. Mostly everything is all the way up there. But I'm pretty sure he'll have Hall of Fame immovable. His jumper's fantastic. Leaner Pro 2, absolutely excellent. Hop jumper James Harden obviously is his signature stuff. And he's got most of his signature dribbles, but now he has a John Wall hop back. Did he have that before? Let me see. What was your step back before, sir? He did not. He had his own step back before. So, yeah, this is just a better version of James Harden. He is 6'5". I don't know how great a 6'5" card can be if they don't have Patty base and Oscar upper or something similar, or like McGrady base. That having been said, is this a very good point guard in the game? Absolutely. This card's very, very good. Some people are going to be like, oh, I don't need that card's trash. It's not trash. James Harden's going to be very good. The old James Harden is still playable, quite frankly. And so with a strong moving behind the back into a strong jumper on very quick, he should be absolutely fantastic at his position, especially with Pro 2 leaner. There's actually a combo of moves you don't get a whole lot. Stylistically, people who've been using James Harden would probably be very happy to get this card. Now, again, at 100 overall, we'll see what the updated pack odds are. So the chance of you seeing this card, let alone getting this card, are likely extraordinarily low because we are in this full-on gambling system right now. We all know what it is. But that having been said, this is a good card. Is it a great card? Is it a 100 overall super fantastic card? No, I wouldn't go that far. Is he better than Shea from last season? I doubt it. I think Shea, as of right now, Shea is still the best point guard in my opinion in the game. But we'll see what the other new point guards have to say about that. But for now, that's what we're talking about with James Harden. All right, so just to double check. Sorry, guys, I think I just now hit puberty. Just to double check. Yeah, I think that is the last card because there are not that many cards, right? There's only 4 opals and the few dark matters. Just double checking. All right, and with that said, we are going to move on to these Larry Bird cards. All right, so this is the first Larry Bird. So I don't know why there are 2 opal Larry Birds. We'll figure that out as the content comes out, but there are 2 opal Larry Bird. Oh my Lord. Look at how bad this card is. This is what I was saying. This is what DBG was saying, right? If this card is free, there's no way he's going to be as good as these dark matters. So the fact that he's free is not something we should be looking at. Be like, oh yeah, dope, there's a free Larry Bird. 80 speed, 80 strength. Unusable. Unusable. He's just statistically not good enough to use. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna cover the card. Pro dribble style, mellow size up is a little bit on the slow side. Steph Curry moving step back's pretty good. Moving behind the back, pro, same thing everybody else has, should be pretty good. His own shot on very quick, should be usable. Basic 2-hop jumper, well, I don't know about that. And normal leaner, this card would be mid if he had good stats. But since he has bad stats, he's bad. Can't dunk, 70 driving dunk in today's climate. Can't stick dunk, you're not a slasher. He dunks worse than Kyle Korver, right? Standing dunk, barely there, should be able to barely just do it. But yeah, I'm not going to put too much time into this card. This card absolutely, he just stinks. This is a bad card. They put out this, you get this card for free or whatever, but I don't know what's going on there. So I don't know how you get. So see, VC price, MT price, 0. Obviously, because he's not in the market. But I'm not sure what the difference is between the two opals. If you guys know what's up with that, let me know in the comment section. I do not understand why there are two opal Larry Birds here. I really don't. One's a 97, one's a 98. They both play the same position. This guy has usable stats, right? Usable stats. So if this is also a free card, this is a much more usable version of this. Same dribbles and everything else. So again, pro dribble style is very good. Don't let people tell you otherwise. Pro dribble style is fantastic. I have tutorials on this channel for the pro dribble style, and also the Jokic tutorial is also goes into pro dribble style. So that's going to be a usable factor with the card. Can this card play for you though? I think this card might be playable. Playable. That's as far as I can go. Is he good? Absolutely not. Is he playable? Yeah. This is a playable small forward, but also not good. All right. So let's see we're just going to click on one of these dark matters. So it's the power forward C version. And what we're going to do is we're going to compare him to the GOAT version first. Then we'll look at the 100 overall, because we have to figure out a way to do this that's not ridiculous, because we're not going into each of these Larry Bird cards with equal attention. All right. This is mostly going to be the same card. Animation wise, what's different? Nothing's different animation wise. Pro Tool Leaner, Steph Curry Hop. Actually, Steph Curry Hop Jumper is fantastic. That's awesome. So I will say this. In triple threat, this guy's already going to be a beast in triple threat. If you get one of these Larry Birds, whichever Larry Bird you get is going to be an excellent, excellent triple threat card, because his SIGs are out of control. And with so many of them in the packs, I would imagine he's not going to be that difficult to get one version. This is the most troll version of the card because he's only power forward center. Now at 6'9", is he playable at the power forward? Sure. It's not like he's not playable, right? But it's troll just because if you're making the best lineup that you possibly can, you're playing a taller power forward. That having said, can this card play power forward? Probably okay. Let's see, stats and badge wise. So they just basically shaved a little off the top. Now I will say, when I play with cards that have 99 everything, I can feel the difference, even with these 95s. So it will feel slightly superior just moving around. Will it be a strongly noticeable difference? Absolutely not. He's exactly the same shooter. Driving dunk, he's going to be basically exactly the same. Larry Bird with a 99 driving dunk is just so ridiculous. Gotta love my team. Rebounding wise, that's the big difference, because this version is way better at power forward with the higher statistics than this version. I still don't know if everybody's going to use this version as small forward. I say everybody. There are going to be, 2-3 people that get that card. But because now there are just so many rare cards in the pack. The rare cards are like all competing with each other. So Kareem's most likely going to be super duper rare, and Harden's going to be super duper rare, and other versions of Larry Bird are going to be super duper rare. Not to mention that, if Dark Matters are flying out of packs, there's going to be so many Chris Pauls and Paul Pierces. You're going to hate both of those guys more than you already do if you're not from Boston or a Chris Paul fan. So that having been said, these cards are not identical, but very, very similar. And so we can look at one Larry Bird and that covers all of them. And we will go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to take a glance at the point guard version as well. We'll just click on them here. And yeah, basically the same stuff across the board. Looks like the same statistical stuff, just a positional change. So we can go ahead and actually, I'm a little curious. What's different here? Yeah, I mean, it's, man, there are just so many Larry Bird cards here. So let's break down this Larry Bird card. I'm sorry, guys. This is like a new thing. We have to figure out exactly how we're doing this. So this is what we're going to do from now on. We're just going to look at them. If there's 100 overall that they compare to, we're going to look at that. We're going to look at the GOAT card, and then we're going to keep it moving. So basically, every Larry Bird, pretty much the same. Stats, badges, animation-wise, let's take a look at them. So quickly base with the Larry Upper should be just fine. Pro Tool Leaner, absolutely excellent. Curry Hop Jumper, fantastic. Kevin Cruz would be happy about that if he still played this mode. And we've got Trey Escape, one of the best in the game, if not the best in the game. Some people think Kemba's better. I think it's preference. Steve Francis, best size up in the game with the best dribble style in the game. You love that. De'Aaron Fox breakdown moves. Don't sleep on this. This is huge. This is very, very, if this is his normal breakdown move, that's actually a very, very good dribble move. And if I do somehow wind up getting a Larry Bird card of one of these Dark Matters, I will probably break this down. On this channel, we have up until now not been doing any of the gambling cards, but I am seriously, if you're watching this video, chime in the comment section how you feel about this. But I'm very, very seriously considering moving to doing those cards, breaking down those cards, because I don't think it's promoting the cards to break them down. And really, I want to, first of all, I think more information is always better. I think being producing is better than being passive generally. But more importantly, the main factor to me, there are two things that people brought up when I asked the question in the first place. And one I thought was a very good point. And the person said, if I don't have the card and I'm playing out there, I still prefer to know what the card can do so I know what to look out for, which I always thought was a great point. Now, when the cards were much more rare and there was a lot less of these, it was like, but there's still, you're not going to see it as much. But now that people are going to have some of these cards, and if you play online, you're seeing some of these cards, I think that information is more useful. And then the other part of it is, there's two things. One, it's a skill factor. There's some things these cards can do that only they can do. And I want to keep helping the community get better at the game and myself get better at the game. And the only way to do that is to get access to some of the abilities that these cards have. Even understanding that everybody can't get the card, but just having the understanding of what the card can do raises the skill, ceiling of the community. And then the last thing being, most people are locking in some of these collections. And when you lock in, you do have a chance to get these cards. And as the collections stack up, you start to see that even people who are no money spent, even people that are low money spent or don't lock in every collection, they'll get one of these super great cards. They'll get like one Luol Deng, one Dr. J, and so it's not a situation like the 100 overalls where only the gamblers have 100 overalls. I think normal players have a lot of these cards too. And those players not having a way to get the most out of those cards doesn't sit right with me as a content creator. So those are my reasons. It's funny because I'm saying this after I'm monetized. So if you're skeptical or cynical about that idea, I understand. But if you know me as a person, you know that I'm being sincere. And hopefully you guys will understand that. But that has always been on the table for me because I've gotten pretty lucky with some of these cards. I only lock in collections. I don't buy VC. I only buy the Pro Pass every time. And I did wind up getting Ron Artest off an exchange and Dr. J off the lock-in. I got Bol from pulling 6 packs with MT. And so, having the cards, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could show people what these cards can do, because if they do have the cards, I want them to enjoy it. And if they don't have the cards, hopefully whatever cards you do have, I'd break them down for you. So that is my thinking with this stuff. And so with Larry Bird, that is the direction that I'm considering going. If I even get a Larry Bird, there might be 100 of him in here, but they all might be behind low odds and he's competing with other Dark Matters. But if I do get one Larry Bird, I will most likely review it on this channel, break it down on this channel, do a tutorial, because if the rest of you guys are spending MT on packs even, you're probably going to get at least one Larry Bird, and I'd prefer that you know how to use him to the best of his ability. If you feel very, very strongly about that, if my entire community is like, dude, you're a sellout, don't do gambling cards, this is just part of the problem, we hate it. If you guys feel very strongly about it, I might change my mind. But if you don't feel that, it has to be a lot of you. If it's 50-50, I'm going with the crowd that is involved and productive, because most of the people that are saying that, not most of the people, but a lot of people that are saying that also are no longer playing the game. And if you're no longer playing the game, then breakdown content isn't helping you anyway, right? Whether you have the card or not, because you're not playing the game. So anyway, that is my tirade on that. And let's wrap this up. So is that everything? I think that's everything, right? The GOAT card, same stuff, just more stats. We actually didn't look at the 100 overall, technically. So what's the difference between him and the GOAT card? Let's see. Let's make this comparison. To me, this is just so silly. Having a GOAT card and 100 overall at the same time, I do not understand what is happening right now. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know what's going on. Identical stats wise. I mean, why even waste the man hours of knocking one acceleration down? It makes literally no difference. Not stats and badges. Animation wise, exactly the same. Badge wise, a few extra Hoffs that honestly don't really matter. You might feel Hoff break starter a little bit if you're rebounding, and Hoff pogo stick and pick dodger are upgrades, and Hoff, chase down are big upgrades. I don't think you'll notice the rest of these too much. Certainly not Aerial Wizard. And with his stats, I don't even think you'll notice a Space Creator increase. I don't think you'll be missing any hot bats with this card because your badge wasn't Hall of Fame. It's because you mistimed it. So get good. But yeah, I don't know why there are these basically identical cards. I don't know why there are two of these, but not going to harp on that too much. That having been said, that should be it for these breakdowns, and we have to get right on over to these reward cards. So thank you guys as always. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. I will see you in the next one. Peace.